So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. We've got some news. That's right, news has surfaced about FIFA, about EA. I thought this was quite interesting, and I like to see what you guys think of this. So here we are, right? So in case you guys are wondering what's been going on, pretty much it looks like FIFA and EA may be parting ways, as you can tell by this quite humorous title. FIFA says it never liked EA anyway, so, you know, who really cares? But it's all about that as well, folks, isn't it? It's money, money, money. And this makes it very, very interesting, because what this could lead to is other companies, other developers getting that FIFA license, which in turn means they'll have more licenses. A problem that's been quite a big problem for a long time, because as we know, EA have literally everything when it comes to the licenses. So let's go over a couple of these articles. I mean, there's a bunch of them. You've got FIFA statement indicates possible split from EA. EA Sports is planning for a FIFA without FIFA, as Football Association ups asking price to US $1 billion. That's ridiculous. Good Lord. Then we've got FIFA ends their exclusivity deal with EA Sports. It sounds like FIFA is ending its exclusive deal with EA Sports. And then you've got one here that says FIFA to end exclusive partnership with EA Sports. So another thing, folks, is if this happens, then the game can't be called FIFA. And imagine saying, I'm playing EA Sports 2022. It doesn't even sound right, because we've been so accustomed to saying FIFA all the time. So that's another thing that would be quite funny. The facts are, we may not have FIFA in the name at all. Anyway, let's dive into this a little bit deeper and see exactly what is going on. So a recent statement issued by FIFA, the worldwide governing body of professional football, I'm not going to say that word, I'll say football, indicates that the organization may cut ties with a long-time video game partner, EA. EA has been publishing games in the FIFA series since 1993. That's a long time, nearly 30 years if my maths is correct. Hopefully it is. As part of its overall competitive sports games portfolio, which includes other popular franchises such as Madden. Anyway, let's move down. It turns out that the trademark filing might have been signaling an even more significant change. As Video Games Chronicle reports, the statement from FIFA makes some less than ambiguous comments aimed at EA. It basically said, we must involve more than one party controlling and exploiting all rights. The post goes on to state that other developers in technology and mobile gaming markets are competing for involvement in the franchise. Mobile gaming, is that eFootball, I believe? The statement conspicuously omitted any mention of the recently released FIFA 22, which has been criticized for featuring only minor changes to the series' well-worn formula. Well, yes. This may in turn, folks, force EA to start doing a little bit more than just putting out the bare bones each year. But to be fair, FIFA 22, I think offline is respectable. Online's a different story. I think the game's just an arcade fest. But offline is certainly doable. It's not clear what this could mean for the future of the series, especially when considering the fact that EA might still own the rights to things like the digital likeness of various players and stadiums, EA locking down the alternate name EA Sports FC gives the impression that the publisher will continue to develop football games. I mean, why wouldn't they? It's their biggest selling title. They make a ton of money, though this time with branding that is more directly linked to the company name. If EA does go on to release annual games under this new title, one could assume that the developers would still be using the same engine and assets from previous FIFA games. Yeah, they're not going to change the engine. This has nothing to do with the engine. This is the rights to teams. FIFA obviously is massive, right? They have all the licenses, this, that, and the other. If EA lose it, then yes, they're going to have to change the name of the game, as it says here, EA Sports FC. Can you imagine that? Next year's game's called EA Sports 23. After 30 odd years. I just think that's quite weird, if anything, isn't it? To think about. Maybe. Let me know. Right, so moving on, we got this one here that said FIFA will adopt a new commercial positioning in gaming and esports to ensure that it is best placed to make decisions that benefit all football stakeholders. You know, the thing that cracks me up, though, is this has never been an issue before. And suddenly now FIFA are coming out and saying, maybe having all the rights to one game isn't the smartest thing. No, all that's happened here is probably FIFA asked for too much money, as one of the articles stated. $1 billion is madness. And FIFA probably like, well, this is getting ridiculous now. How much money do you want us to fork over every year to renew this license? So FIFA have had enough of it. They know they can go to a bunch of other companies and probably get a good amount of the old money anyway. FIFA is bullish and excited about the future in gaming and esports for football, and it is clear that this needs to be a space that is occupied by more than one party controlling all rights. Technology and mobile companies are now actively competing to be associated with FIFA, its platforms, and global tournaments. Consequently, FIFA is engaging with various industry players, including developers, investors, and analysts, to build out a long-term view of the gaming, esports, and interactive entertainment sector. So there we have it. I mean, it does talk down here about Konami. Unless FIFA turns around and signs exclusively with a different company like Konami or 2K Games, we could still see FIFA branding in some aspects of EA's future games. It would just no longer be only theirs to use. We might now see FIFA in PES, for example. Well, we won't, because there's no longer PES, but eFootball. And it may also encourage other companies to develop football games. This may end up being the best outcome for fans that just want to play good games and don't care about exclusive rights. And it's true. It's true. This is actually quite a big thing, folks. If this does go through, you know, we've always said licensing has been the biggest problem with these other games. You know, look at PES. We've had to mod it. We have to go in there and do option files and do this and do that because FIFA, or not FIFA, EA, it's not even FIFA, is it? It's EA, have the licenses and rights to FIFA. Pretty much. That's going to change. So let me know what you guys make of it. I'm not going to make this a super long video, but this is something to definitely take note of. Interesting how things are changing, but as I said, I think this purely is down to the fact they haven't got the money, EA. Well, they have got the money. They don't want to spend that and give that money to FIFA. FIFA have had enough of it. They said, well, if you're not going to pay us, someone else will, and let's go and give the rights to some other company. So the likes of UFL coming out, Goals, obviously eFootball. I mean, Konami have a lot of connections, so for them seeing this, why not go in there and try and steal some licenses? And then fix the gameplay, or fix the gameplay and then do the licenses. But either way, a lot of things to come, folks. Let me know what you make of this. Let me know if you think that's quite funny that this game could be called EA Sports FC down the road, because FIFA will not be allowed. It won't be allowed. Simple as that. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. FIFA stream tonight, folks. That's right. We're going to continue the career mode. And then I've got the highlights for the Derby County coming out in the next couple of days. And then the patch for eFootball's coming out shortly too. So a lot of things to take note of. But until next time, subscribe for more and take care.